Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope you were able to get outside and do some stuff out maybe outside that you wanted to get done, and dodge some of the rain yesterday. And over here, it's supposed to be kind of on and off rain all day today. So this week is going to be kind of the first. We don't have school on Friday because of Memorial Day weekend. So this Friday and the next Monday, we won't have any homework coming home. Um, so that means this Monday to Thursday, we're gonna have a little bit longer of assignments. Just trying to get stuff completed here before the end of the year. So, just if you have any questions, though, please feel free to get in contact with me. Again, thanks to everyone that keeps turning in their homework every single day. Really appreciate it. Really helps me a lot as we are as I look over everything and get everything done. All right. If you haven't done your book report or haven't returned it or turned in your book report yet, please do so ASAP. That is due today. For spelling today, we're starting Unit 32. You need to do the first 2 pages and write your words 2 times on a separate piece of paper. Tomorrow, I'll have everything up on the um, Spelling City site for you to practice, and we'll be taking the test on Thursday this week, not Friday, on Thursday. So make sure that you are all set for that. Start looking at your words and whatnot. Okay? All right, for kindergarten today, on your math, you're on lesson 123. On the front side, you're going to have to look at each shape. They give you 4 shapes on each line, and there's one of those shapes that isn't, or one of those items that isn't the same shape as the other 3. Cross that one off, put an X on that one. So that should be pretty easy. But then on the back side of the sheet, you're going to have to write in the missing letters, or numbers, sorry. I put letters on your paper. Write your missing numbers as that are missing. I think it goes from 11 up to 30. Okay, shouldn't be too hard. I think you should be able to handle it pretty easily. For your super kids today, I sent home the letter V packet. The V makes the V sound like vacuum. You need to do 3 of those sheets, any 3 that you'd like. And tomorrow we'll be taking a look at that letter V sound. And don't forget, we'll also be doing that little quiz on your letters and what sound they make. So please make sure you keep practicing those as well. All right? First graders, keep reading. First of all, just don't stop reading always, and keep up that reading every single day. For your math, it's pretty easy. It's only one side on both sheets. Your first is just a fact assessment sheet. Shouldn't be too hard. And then in your math, on your practice sheet, first one says Randy had 24 pennies, and he put them in groups of 10. Okay, so draw those pennies. So 24, how many groups of 10 would there be? It's always the first number, so there's 2 groups of 10. So you draw 2 big circles, put 10 X's in there, and then there's 4 on the outside. It says, but his friend Philip gave him 10 more pennies. How many does he have now? So what do we have to do to 24 and 10 if he got 10 more? We add them together. Good. Number 2, you got to figure out which number is missing there and circle it. Number 3, you got to, it tells you there's one shape that's cut in half, one that's in a third, and one that's in a sixth. And you got to color, I think it's just one piece for each one, a certain color. Number 4 is just a bunch of adding by tens. 5, you can cross off number 5. Yeah, no, you can do it number 5. Why don't you pull up a calendar and you can solve those according to what day of the month or day of the weeks those are for on a map. Okay, I don't think it should be too hard. All right, Rodney, for your reading today, you're going to be reading the story The Big Snow and then answer the 5 questions. It's on page 222. Read that story, do the 5 questions on page 237. And then on page 75 in your workbook, you got to use the words that are in the green box at the top. They're all vocab words. They give you the word and the definition. And you got to write the letter next to the word that matches each description down at the bottom for 1 through 13. Then on page 76, it deals with the story. You have a bunch of feeling words, how someone might be feeling in that orangish yellowish box. And then answer each one of those questions by giving me a feeling word there for 1 through 5. And then for number 7 or 77, you got to read the little story and then answer the 2 questions on the top, and then read the story at the bottom and answer the 4 questions. They're all talking about setting, where the story takes place. All right. For first grade, for your reading today, you can cross off page 235. You don't have to do that page, but then 254 you need to unscramble the words to make a new sentence. So the sentence doesn't really make sense. Park to we the went. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but you got to rewrite the sentence in the right order there for 1, 2, and 3 on page 254. On 255, you got to circle the 5 words in that story that have the R sound with the AR, and then answer the question in the middle of the sentence, and then at the bottom, write the 2 words that you circled that rhyme and answer the riddle. And then on the back side, 256, this is just like we did the other day, where you're going to follow the directions, and like they started off with the word tart, and they took the last T out of tart, so now he has the word tar. And then it says change the T to a C, so you get a new word and all that. And at the very bottom, write a sentence about a barn on a farm. Shouldn't be too hard, I think. Okay, for your phonics today, you're going to be continuing finishing our look at long vowels. For the first page, 223, you got to fill in either, there's 2 letters that each one have to fill in. Let's see how well you remember these words. So it's sometimes a silent E, sometimes it's a silent A. So you got to write those 2 letters for each one to finish the sentence that matches the picture, finish the word that matches the picture. And then on the back side, like the first one, that's a picture of ice. What vowel sound do you hear in ice? It's the I. So you got to fill in the bubble next to the 3 words that have that long I sound. And then there's an ape. And then there's ice again, a pine. I think that's a pine. It might be a cone tree. Jeep. Fruit and beet. So you got to do those vowel sounds there. And then on page 225, this is a new concept we're dealing with. These are called letter clusters, or blended letters. When we take 2 letters and blend them together, like SP makes us sp, ST, st, SW, sw, SN, sn, SM, sm, SK, sk. You got to look at the picture, and if it starts with the same letters as it's on the string, color it. If it doesn't, then don't. So like right next to the skate, it has a SK. Yeah, that makes sense. But what about star? Does that start with an SK? No, so we don't color the one with the star because it has an SK underneath it. Then on the last page, page 226, circle the 2 letters that start each one of those pictures. Should be pretty simple there. All right? All right. That's all you got for today, first graders. Have a great day. All right. Second graders, for your math, today what you're going to be talking about is a thing called perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines. Now, we talked about these types of lines that go like this. Those are called parallel lines. Those are parallel lines. Well, today, perpendicular lines are when they cross and they make almost like a T, okay? Now, perpendicular lines can look like that. They can look like that. See how they cross? But one's perfectly horizontal and one's perfectly vertical. Now, are those perfectly horizontal, vertical? No, those aren't. So those are not perpendicular lines. But if I went like this, are those? Well, if I turn my book, yeah, they actually are, aren't they? So you got to be careful. Sometimes they're going to try to trick you on how what they look like. So if you can turn it and they look perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal, then yeah, they can be. So that's what you're going to be doing on number 2. You got to circle the perpendicular lines, and I'll give you a clue. There's 3 of them that you're going to be circling there. Okay, so be very careful there. Otherwise, for number 3, it says find the area. So you got to tell me how many squares are in that box there. So you got to count up the box and then write that number there. And then it says color 1 square. And it says what fraction of them is not colored or is colored. So how many did you color? 1. How many pieces altogether? That goes underneath the line. All right. I think everything else there should be pretty self-explanatory. I think you should be able to answer the rest of those things. Just 2 and 3 are a little bit newer, so shouldn't be too hard though, I don't think. For your reading today, page 130, you're going to be writing the contractions that match the box. So you got to, like the first one is cannot. What word goes with cannot? Can't. And then you got to circle the letters that they took out when they wrote from cannot to can't. They took out a N-O. So circle the N-O. Okay? 131 deals with how sometimes words mean more than one thing. What you have to do is read the sentence, look at the word that's in dark print, and go up on the top of the page and find the definition that word means. So let's try number 1. Nathan likes the figure in this picture. Figure's the one that is underlined. As figure mean to solve or a form, shape, or pattern. Well, it's not really talking about solving anything. It's not saying I'm figuring it out. It says Nathan liked the figure. Oh, so we'd write a form, shape, or pattern on the line. Like I said, shouldn't be too difficult. Just choose which one. Page 132, you got to finish each comparison. Use the words in the blank or in that box to fill in the blank. 133, find the 4 words that are spelled wrong. Write them correctly. They're all contractions. And then 134, tell me are those action words, those verbs, are they happening right now? Remember, if something's happening right now, they usually end in S or ES. Okay? So like bring, is that happening right now? Yeah, I can bring a salad. What about number 3, woke? I woke up. No, because if it's happening right now, you'd say I wake up. So that one's a no. So you're going to circle yes or no for the top part. And then 7 through 10, you got to rewrite the sentence to make it happen now. Tamara's mother poured sugar into the bowl. Poured, that's the action word, but that means it's happened already. If it's happening right now, we could say Tamara's mother pours sugar in the bowl. So that's all you're going to be doing there. Okay? All right. For your phonics today, you're looking at adding S or ES. So if you look at page 183, this one's pretty simple. If it ends in CH, SH, S, or X, you add an ES. Those are all up in the top box there. Otherwise, you just add an S. So like bus, oh, that ends in an S, so we add an ES. B-U-S-E-S. Okay? That one's easy. On the next page, page 184, this deals with how sometimes we have to change the Y to an I and add ES. Now, if the letter, that's only if the letter in front of the Y is a consonant. If it's a vowel like toy, has an O in front of it, then we just add an S. But if it doesn't, if it ends with any other letter that's not a vowel, then we have to change the Y to an I. So like pennies, the letter before the Y is an N. So that's not a vowel, so we have to change the I to change the Y to an I. But if I go down to, let's say, key, well, the vowel before, or the letter before the Y is an E. Oh, so that means we need to not change the Y because that's a vowel, and we just add an S. Okay? Page 185, dealing with the letters F. Okay? If the word ends with an F or an FE, you can change it to a V and add ES. But if it ends in 2 Fs, then you just add an S. So really what you're looking at here is if it ends with 2 Fs, just add an S. If it ends with an F or an FE, change the F to a V and add ES. Okay? Then 186, we'll see how well you did on all these. It's kind of like a review. You use the word in the box and write the plural, right? That word that means more than one. But make sure you write it correctly. Sometimes you got to change the Y to an I. Sometimes you got to change the F to a V. Sometimes you got to add S, or sometimes you even got to add ES. All right? All right, let's get into 3rd graders. 3rd grade, you guys have math today. You're learning, or we're looking at putting numbers in order from 1 all the way up to up to 10,000 today. And it's not very hard. I don't think I looked through the assignment. Nothing there is too tricky. Just be careful, like number 3 and 4, that you rewrite those problems correctly. Show me your work, please, on all those problems, so that way I know that you're doing them right, especially with that long division, because I know that's a little bit trickier of a newer assignment. I think everything else on there should be pretty self-explanatory, so you guys should be able to get all of that done without any big issues. Okay. For your reading today on page 173. Pretty easy. You're gonna, if it ends with an R sound, they go in the first column. If they end with an L sound, they go in the second column. That's very simple. Then on page 174, you got to finish the crossword puzzle. And then you got to answer the question or find the word that's hidden for 174. Remember, those are the ones where you have to take like the ending of the first word and the beginning of another word, and you'll find a spelling word by looking at that. Page 175, find the 5 misspelled words, circle them and write them correctly. And then on page 176, you got to write the word that is the synonym, the word that means the same as the word that they give you from the box. And then answer the question at the very bottom by writing the letter, the letter that matches the number there. Okay? I don't think it should be too hard. Your reading should be pretty simple for you today. All right, for language today, 3rd and 4th graders, this one's not too hard actually. It's a pretty easy concept. Unfortunately, you do have to write the sentences in order to do it though. You have compound sentences. Remember, that's when you take 2 sentences and put them together, usually using the word and. Okay, today we're going to talk about when you write a compound sentence and you put those 2 sentences together and you use the word and, you always have to put a comma in the compound sentence. So you always write, Mr. Holman woke up and he went outside. Well, right before the word and, I'm going to put a comma, and he went outside. Okay, so you have to rewrite the sentences for part A, and right in front of the word and, you got to put the comma. Make sure I see the comma. Make sure you write neat so I can see it. Okay, and then part B, they give you the first part of the sentence. Actually, they give you both sentences. You got to combine them using the word and, but don't forget the comma. Again, like I said, very simple concept, as long as you're taking your time and you're writing neatly. All right? All right, last thing. 4th graders, you guys have your math assignment, lesson 95, last one of the year before your tests this week. So you have math, and then you guys will be done with math for the year. Okay, and then for your reading, 4th graders, cross off page 147. You don't have to do that one. Okay, on page 148, we're looking at the possessive pronouns. So there'll be words like their, your, our, her. You're going to write those words in the blank to finish that story. 149, same thing. Write those possessive pronouns. Hers, her, his, your, my, those types of things. Okay, page 150, you have to write the correct form of its on the line. Okay, so you're going to write the correct form of it. So remember, its could be it is, if that's the one that has the comma, or its means like you're talking about something, an actual thing. So like the first one, blank, no secret. Now, I always say if I would use the word it is. If it makes sense to write it is in there, then write the one with the comma, or with the apostrophe, sorry. If it doesn't, then write the one without the apostrophe. So it is no secret that Lou Gehrig, so we need the apostrophe. But for the second one, the team moved, it is home. That would be the one without the apostrophe. At the very bottom, it says you have to rewrite it. You don't have to do that. Just fill in the blank. You do not have to rewrite it. Okay? All right, I think that should be about it for today. Like I said, I know it's a little bit extra work today, but keep working hard, get your stuff done. Keep up the good work. We're in our second to last week of school, if you can believe it. We're almost done. There's this light at the end of the tunnel. So keep up the good work, and hope to see a lot of you on our Zoom this morning and this evening, and we'll see you then. Okay? Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.